5 years ago, myself, Kim Boscheman, and Cliff Dyke, we founded Ghost Light Players here in Marlborough, and we've been doing productions ever since. We just finished our 5th full season, so that's about 18 shows that we've done, which is a lot. And each year we've done a production of Shakespeare that we've offered free to the local public.
The 2 shows that I've done with them have been really great. They were both Shakespeare's. I know that they do a lot of different shows, but what Ghostlight does that I really like is they're very focused on the process. So no matter what part you have, you're very much involved with the creation of the show. And so with both the shows I was in, Hamlet in particular, it was really about digging deep not just into my own character, but really the building of this world that we created together. So they tend to do that a lot.
A lot of it actually has to do with how the company uses space. Because especially with Shakespeare, there's really not any translation happening. It's just straight cuts of lines or switching around who says what, but all of the original language is still preserved and still being said, despite the fact that you can watch 2 people have a conversation in poetry and still totally understand what's happening. And a lot of that happens because the cast really spends a lot of time familiarizing themselves with what is happening in these deep interpersonal levels, where there are whole rehearsals that are set aside where the scripts don't come out once, where it's just the cast sitting around a table talking about, well, my character likes this character because of this thing that totally happened, this experience that they totally shared that's never mentioned in the text once, but sort of forms this subtextual relationship that emanates through the actual piece.
The way that it was blocked and produced was in the round, so the audience is right on top of the action. So the set is very minimal. There are just some sort of some rolling drapes, which kind of contributes to that kind of maze. Kind of concept that she had as a set design.
Ghost Light Players for the first time will be taking their show international to the Fringe Festival in Scotland. The cast of Hamlet put on a fundraiser to help them with the expenses of traveling across the pond to share their interpretation of Hamlet with the rest of the world, a small donation helping a bigger cause.
We've grown so much that this cast from Hamlet, we became so close-knit, and the production went so smoothly, and we felt so strongly about this production that we all decided, well, I should say Kat decided, that she wants to actually be with us for an entire week and go across the pond to Scotland and perform this internationally for, well, I should say international, for everybody, basically. Yeah, and then we'll also be performing it here before we leave for like schools and stuff like that to kind of educate people on Shakespeare, which is kind of cool too.
It's kind of wild to think that, because there are sort of other intermediate steps, right? There's regional theater, then there's Boston theater, and there's New York, and we're like, the heck with that. We'll just jump all the way up to the Fringe Festival in Edinburgh. So it's kind of wild to think that we're just like, I was gonna say pulling up stakes, but we're not. We're just sort of jumping up and going and doing this wild and crazy thing. It's also, I think it's a sign that we feel like we're sort of, we have more to say. We want to talk to more people. We want to show our work to more people. We love the Marlborough community and the surrounding towns because a lot of people come and see our shows and they're very supportive and they say a lot of great things. But we want to spread the word. We want to spread sort of knowledge about Ghostlight farther.
Ever since Ghostlight started, that's been the concept, is that the actors would carry the show. It wouldn't be about fancy effects or sets so much as just serious actors exploring the roles, exploring the emotional dynamic of the roles. And in Hamlet, and we're fortunate to have big roles in Hamlet, that there's so much emotional depth in the characters. And I think I'm glad that you have us both here, because a lot of our roles is the relationship between us, which is a real privilege and a challenge to play, right?
Yes, absolutely,
roles,
absolutely. And it's been so great playing with Julian because he is such a wonderful actor that I know that everything I'm doing up there, he's supporting, and hopefully vice versa.
Well, back at you.
And it's a lot of fun to be up there with him.
There's something really special about taking theater that was created locally, right here in Marlborough, that we were able to offer free to our local community, and bringing it to an international stage for people from all over the world to see, and for us to be able to experience the type of theater that they were putting together, and sort of grow our community in a really special way.
There's so much to learn from other groups and even from other spaces. The difference between performing here in Marlborough and performing at a sort of educational event is dramatic, and that's, you know, an hour's drive. Across an ocean it's got to be something.